goodness, all of Kansas is here. Oh, this is wonderful. Thank you so much. I've been looking forward to coming here for a couple of reasons. Well, you know, I have a painting at the Kansas City Jazz Museum. I'm hoping it's hanging up on a wall someplace. You know, because sometimes they rotate. So I hope I'm not going to be disappointed. Because I also have a painting at the Smithsonian in Washington D.C. They own one of my paintings. I took a couple of people, friends of mine, to see the painting, and it wasn't hanging up. So it was pretty embarrassing. But I know that they rotate these pieces every now and again. So anyway, but the other reason why I'm happy to be here too is I'm really, truly looking forward to some jazz on 18th Street and Vine, and also a Kansas City steak. It was told about the barbecue is supposed to be real. Mortal?
We'll be here at 6 o'clock. Who's coming?
Speak.
Now it's a double. It is tweaked.
Well, I won't be up that late. I won't be hanging out. But anyway, it's something to think about. You know all the places, don't you? You don't let that cane stop you, do you? That's a great cane. You know, I collect canes. That's a beauty. No. You can hurt somebody with that one.
Okay, the back of the room has no clue. We're having our own private conversation. Forgive us.
Yeah, what else?
So, well, Billy already kind of talked about it, but Billy, tell everybody, you went to school, obviously, for painting and won some awards and stuff. Fill everybody in, because they all know you as an actor, but I want to educate them on you being a painter.
Well, you know, I grew up in New York City, and I went to a school called, my sister and I had a twin sister. She just recently passed away. But she and I went to a school called Music and Art High School. And when I graduated Music and Art, she went to NYU, and I got a scholarship to a school called the National Academy of Design for the Fine Arts, where I spent 2 years on the scholarship painting, and was nominated for a Guggenheim. I was 18, 19 years old, and also received the Hallgarten Award, which is comparable to a Guggenheim. So painting has been very much a part of my life, all of my life. And but acting, you know, I always say that I started out as a painter, but I didn't really. I mean, I started out in show business when I was 6.5 years old in a Broadway musical called The Firebrand of Florence. And that was a long time ago. I don't want to tell you how long ago that was, but that was my first experience in show business on Broadway, in a musical. And I even had a little chant that I still remember. Make way for the Duchess, for her grace the Duchess. Make way for the Duchess, for her legal, regal Duchess. And then I had to come back on stage a second time with a message from the Duchess. Message from the Duchess, from her grace the Duchess. Message from the Duchess, from her legal, regal Duchess. That was an adorable little boy. I had this little funny little costume on. It was funny. Bless you. Anyway, that is sum total of my artistic life. To the where?
The Atkins?
Nelson Atkins? Oh no, I don't think, I've not been there. I was at the, because I did a movie many years ago called the Big and Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. And I did go to the museum for the Negro baseball players back in the 30s and 40s, which was really quite interesting. But I haven't been to that one. I'll have to check that one out if I have the time to do it. The what?
You can get us in for free?
Oh,
Fantastic.
okay.
Can we bring about 300 friends? 200. Hey guys, you know what, I just had a good idea because with him talking that far back, we won't be able to hear. Whoever has a question, let's do it this way. Line up in the center aisle right here. Don't be shy, everybody can stand up. And just come forward, and then when we see you here, we can hear you, and then we'll repeat the question. Okay, so don't be shy, everybody get in the middle aisle. And apparently the young lady with the children, they came and left. What's up with that? Restroom? They couldn't do that before they got here? There's still 3 seats here, and there's all these standing people.
Come on, Megan. That's the ultimate act.
All right. Do you have a question, sir? What's your name?
It's warm out there.
It is a little. What's your name, sir?
Oh,
He's wishing Billy D a happy birthday on April 6th.
thank you so much.
He'll be 31. That's right. What's your name, sir? Steve.
Well, thank you for having me here. Thanks.
Go that way.
You sound like you're in this business. Well, it's a
So
kind of a
Steve,
trade-off.
wait, Billy, wait. The people in the back can't hear. Wait for it. Steve is asking what Mr. Williams prefers,
It's my boss, so
what he prefers, whether film or stage, because he's done a lot of stage. So, now Billy will answer.
well, it's a kind of a trade-off, I guess. I mean, I enjoy all of it actually. So, you know, stage. I mean, you got to do 8 performances a week, which can be pretty grueling. Of course, when you're doing film, there's a lot of standing around and waiting and all that sort of stuff. But listen, I'm very fortunate. I mean, I was able to make my living doing all of this acting stuff, sitting around and being a child, playing child games, and making a living doing it. So I feel pretty fortunate about that. So it's all. Doing stage is wonderful. The wonderful thing about stage, however, is that you got a live audience and you've got that wonderful exchange between yourself and the audience. And I don't think that there's any better experience really, because you have the exchange between yourself and the performers on the stage, but also there is that exchange between yourself and the people sitting in the audience. So you're just feeling all of this energy, and that energy really feeds you. Film, you got the experience of working and collaborating with the director and the actors and the writer, and so all of those things are really a lot of fun to me. And then as a painter, of course, you lock yourself in the room. It's just you and the canvas and the paints. And so I've been pretty lucky in that way. But I've also written books too, so co-authored books. So,
I'm afraid many of us may not have known that you were so well-rounded. I certainly didn't know, and that's really in kind of the same vein. And then I'll pass it on to the next person. when you make a film, like a typical film, like Bingo Long or something like that, or, but then you make a film like one of the Star Wars films, where there's so much of it that's put in later with special effects, and when you're filming your part, a lot of what is in the final product isn't there. Does that make it, obviously, does that make it more difficult than a typical film? It doesn't have all the special effects.
Well, the first thing is that when you're an actor, you use your imagination. So when you don't actually see what you're working with, you just put a picture in your mind. That's where all the collaboration comes in, with like with George. I mean, you just ask, what are we, relating to? And with Gershon, who was really a fantastic person to work with, was very helpful in that sense. So, just using your imagination. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
With all of your extensive career, what prompted you to do the season of General Hospital Night Shift? I loved it. It was really fun to see you there because I'm a long-time follower of the show, but it was like, oh my gosh.
Well, it was a very nice experience, actually. It was different from doing film or doing stage. It was much more immediate, and it was good practice. For me, I treat it as a good practice. And I'm at that juncture in my life where, though it's, I did all that other stuff, so I thought that might have been a pretty good idea. Then I got a chance to do some singing like that. So it was fun. Thank you.
Hello. And the unusual question that I often ask at conventions that I like to understand when someone's gotten to the point where their face is recognized for something so specific, but they have had such a varied career. What part of your career do you want to be remembered for? Not like everyone else remembers you for. People like Lando Calrissian. Oh, yeah. What do you want to be the face of your career?
Code 45. Works every time. Listen, Lando Calrissian's been good to me. It allows me to meet all of you wonderful people, so that's an experience in my life.
So, in other words, the face that fans see and what we remember is something that you were content with and happy with?
Yeah, listen, I did some pretty good things in my career. Not all of them were good, but a few of them. Brian's song. I was nominated for an Emmy for that one, so I certainly want to be remembered for that experience. And of course, the movies I did with Diana Ross, Legacies of Blues, Mahogany, and stuff like that. Stallone, that was a grueling experience, but that was a kind of a forerunner of the what do you call it, movies? No, the terrorist movies. So that was a kind of a first. I always I tend to take pride in always being, having had the opportunity of being in situations that turn out to be the first. I like the idea of being first. To me, being first is better than being number one. Because first is like historical. It's there forever.
That was awesome.
You think so?
Yeah.
You hear that, David?
Awesome.
Learn.
I think it's going to be interesting in 100 years when someone goes to his gravesite and says Billy D. Williams I suppose, person. In parentheses, it says Lando, and people go, what the hell is that? Neo, isn't it right? No?
Anyway, I just wanted to know.
That was a good question.
Thank you very
We should
much.
have, that was
Thank you.
very good, thank you. No one's saying their name though. What's your
My
name?
name is Chad.
Hi.
Of all the movies you've probably seen, all the characters you've played, has there ever been a movie or a character you've seen that you wish you would have auditioned for, or you would have portrayed, or is there a character you think you could have done better at as an actor?
Not really. I mean, there are certainly characters I've always wanted to do, and I tried to do, but without any real success. Like Duke Ellington, I always wanted to play Duke Ellington. I always felt like anybody can do that character, but it me, because I really understand that sensibility. There was another wonderful character that I really wanted to do, Alexander Dumas. A lot of people don't realize that Dumas wrote The Three Musketeers. It was a really interesting character. He was a mulatto. You know what a mulatto is? Yeah, okay. And he was a very interesting character, a very flamboyant. I tried to do something like that, but didn't have success with that. Those are two.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Hi, my name's Alex. Thank you for answering my question. Since you do acting, painting, and singing from time to time, have you ever found that the themes from either your work in painting or acting or singing have influenced how you portray a role in a particular painting or vice versa?
Yeah, absolutely. I always feel that my experience as a painter has contributed to kind of a nuanced understanding of what I do as an actor, and vice versa. You know, my world has always been pretty much aesthetic. It's always been art, the arts. I've never been a thug, never been one of those kind of people. So I've been, again, as I said before, I've been very fortunate in being raised with pretty good values and a pretty good outlook on life and a real appreciation for diversity in the world. I've been lucky that way. Thank you.
My name's Wade. I was wondering what you think some of the interesting changes are in the acting side of things from your early career, Star Wars and some of the other things, all the way up to White Collar and some of your more recent works, for better or for worse.
Well, I guess there's more technology, you know, in filmmaking today, you know, so that I think that actors, except when you see a performance like Meryl Streep, whom I regard as probably the most extraordinary performer I've ever seen. Well, she's one of them. But when I watched her doing Maggie Thatcher, I thought, my God, that's amazing. So she was just relying on story, and she was relying on her performance, as opposed to relying on a lot of technology to carry the message through. So I think a lot of movies today, you have all the CGI and have all that kind of stuff, and just adding to telling a story. So that's changed. There's a lot more experimentation with the technical aspect of filmmaking today. Even on stage, even on stage plays today, there's a lot more technology to create the picture. But I love seeing a great performance by a great performer. I still like that. actress, you need good writing and a good actress. Thanks.
Guys, when you come up to the mic, they're asking me to tell everybody to speak loudly and clearly into the mic so the guys in the back can hear. Okay?
My name is Tug.
Your angle might be better right now. There's a guy moving
I
around.
wasn't going to come here. When I heard you were coming, I'm coming. Now I'm going to be my fiance. Anyway, I have an unusual question as well. I got to ask Jeremy Bullock, what was that, last year, the same question. So a lot of stuff that was science fiction when you were a kid, like the moon landing, which I'm sure you saw, and things like that, a lot of that stuff is science fact now. So, in your lifetime, what's the things that are science fiction now that you would like to see become science fact before you pass on?
Science. Well, the thing I'm really intrigued with, one of the things I'm intrigued with is this whole idea of creating some way of making people disappear in front of your face. I think we'll get to that. They'll figure it out. But you know, it was really funny when I was a kid, when I was reading those science comic books, and they were writing about superhighways, and then there was a superhighway, which is pretty amazing. So a lot of science fiction writers really kind of are the inspiration for a lot of the stuff that we see in science today. Well, you're going to be around a lot longer than me, so you're going to see some stuff. Pretty scary stuff. I hope it's going to be a nice world. I don't know, it's a funny world. Well, it's a dichotomy. It's dual. It's negatives and positives working. You know, I always think about us being an extension of the planet, being certainly an extension of the universe. And there's a lot of chaos out in the universe, but yeah, we write a lot of beautiful poetry about the stars. So there is this kind of interesting mix, which is pretty intriguing. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Ginger. As an actor, what sort of advice would you have for young actors who don't live in the East Coast or West Coast? It's just, you don't have Broadway or Hollywood, just in the middle of nowhere. What advice would you have?
Well, I would say that if you have like theater, you know, wherever you have theater groups, join the theater groups. Yeah, you earn one. Well, that's good. That's because the whole idea is to keep practicing. And also, I think if you have a capacity to write or an interest in writing, I think that's always a good thing. I think anything where you can express yourself creatively, I think is always a good thing to involve yourself with, it seems, in my opinion. But if you have theater groups where you can go and learn how to use your voice, learn how to use your body, and I think is certainly a good idea. So you're doing the right thing. So good luck to you. See you in Hollywood.
My name is Tom. My question is, for you, with your art and with acting, which one do you feel most expresses yourself, or do you feel like you express yourself in different ways?
All of it works for me. As I said before, the nice thing about painting, you don't have to. It's not a collaborative kind of thing. It's just you and your own thoughts with the particular materials that you might be using when you're working out these thoughts and ideas. So I enjoy doing that. But at the same time, I enjoy being in a situation where everybody is sort of putting their heads together and coming up with all of these ideas towards one end. So it's good. You do? All of it. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, my name's Cole, and I wanted to ask you, how did you feel when George Lucas asked you to be in Star Wars and play Lando Calrissian?
Well, I actually met with Irv Kershner. He came to my house, and because he was really interested in me playing the character, and he was very smart about doing that. But I really believe that's one character that not anybody can play. And the reason why I say that is I think it's a question of your point of view about your place in this life. I was always raised to be eclectic in my thinking. What I mean by that is I see myself as the full spectrum of colors. I see myself as a part of the universe. I see myself bigger than that. Especially when I take on a character, I see the character as being bigger than life. So I don't limit myself to some particular point of view based on some idea about how I should approach a situation. But I try to bring my own point of view, my own, like all of us are very unique in our own point of view. We just have to trust it. So I always try to bring in my own unique, what I perceive as my unique own point of view. So when I met with Irv Kershner, we sat and talked about Eastern philosophy. We talked about Buddhism because he was very much involved with that. And at some period of my life, I was very much involved with that. And so we had a real good rapport, and that's how it all began. They asked me to do it. And the thing is, I always wanted to make Lando somebody bigger in life. I wanted to make him beyond all the usual cliche, stereotypical ideas about what a little brown-skinned boy like me should be. So I tried to take it out there into the future, so to speak.
Well, how was it to meet George Lucas? Was he a cool guy? Was he nice?
No, George we had some nice talks. He was a very nice guy. We had some really good talks.
I pleasure to meet you. Thanks.
Thank you.
That'll be on YouTube in a few minutes.
Hi.
Speak into the mic, Mark. Well, the rest of the room can't hear you.
Congratulations first on your legendary career.
Thank you.
And you have played significant characters. You played outstanding characters. Lando Calrissian, of course, Barry Gordy, Michael Jackson, Willie. What was it like to work with the people that you work with? James Earl Jones,
With who?
Bill Connolly.
Me? You sure it was me? I don't think it was me. I've never worked with I know him, but I've never worked with him. Jimmy, well, he and I worked together a few times in New York on stage. He played my big brother on a play I did called The Cool World, and a couple of other things I can't really remember really. Well, Jimmy, I love him. He's like, when we did the big long traveling all-stars movies, I used to get up in the morning and whenever I see him, I'd run up to him and give him a nice kiss on the head. He always kind of reminded me of my father in a lot of ways. There was something very similar about the two.
And which do you enjoy more, dramatic roles, or you've also done some comedy, like on your undercover brother. How did you keep a straight face here?
Well, it was hard. They're pretty funny people. That's a very funny movie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jesse. I just had a question. In the movie Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, you portray this character that has a deep friendship with specifically Han Solo. And I was just wondering, what was your friendship like with Harrison Ford off screen?
Oh, we had a good friendship. Yeah. It was all very, very nice. A nice experience. I will always cherish the experience.
I also have another one. You played, obviously, made a cover scene, but how did it feel to play a character that impacted people to write books about you, like the Thrawn trilogy, stuff like that? How did it feel to just make this bigger world just about a character?
I'm going to keep Mando alive for as long as I'm on this planet.
I'm Joe. I got something for you today. I have a copy of a Billy Graham magazine, The Great Billy Graham, and I was wondering if you would be interested in it. It's the gospel, and I'm a messenger, so I wanted to give it to you.
Well, thank you very much. I certainly appreciate it. Thank you. Bless you.
Hi, my name is David. I was just wondering, with your experience in the entertainment field, what kind of advice can you give to an aspiring filmmaker, and what sets aside a good filmmaker from all the others?
Well, I would say I always hesitate to give advice, but because if I'm wrong, you might come looking for me. But I would say certainly, to experience as much as you can possibly experience, study as much as you can possibly study, find out all of the new ideas and techniques that use to express a point of view. Trust your vision of things. Keep yourself open, always, always. That's essential, it seems to me. Always be aware of what's going on around you. In terms of its, well, I always say in painting, I paint my broad strokes and then I paint my nuances, my subtleties. And so when you're looking at things in a very broad sense, always be very much aware of the subtleties of this living experience. So you're leaving everything open. So I think in order to be a very good filmmaker, it seems to me, you have to look at every nook and cranny. And editing I think is a very good thing too, because a lot of like George was an editor. A lot of your filmmakers are editors, studied editing. I think that's really important. Piecing stories together, a story together.
All right, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And find someone with a huge pocketbook. Money. Guys, in line, if we don't get to you, because we only have about 5 minutes left, okay, that's no offense, we're going to cut you off, but you can come down to the table and ask me a question there and I'll chat with you, okay? So if we don't get to you, you can still ask me a question downstairs. Yes, dear?
Good afternoon, Mr. Williams. My question is, you talked about earlier taking professional movies, and I was wondering, do you ever watch yourself on the screen?
I don't really like watching myself on screen. I really watch myself on screen. I worked with one of the great actors in America, who's dead now, Paul Muni. And it was the first movie I ever did with him, and it was his last movie. And Muni was one of those actors who didn't like to watch himself on the screen. Because you sit and you think, oh my God, that's right. also living with that kind of thing. If you're, I guess, I don't know, a perfectionist, I guess, if you're a person who really demands a lot from yourself, I think it can be very hard.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
If you guys have your smart devices out, or if not, if you have a pen and paper, write this down or go to this. If you guys want to follow Mr. Williams on Twitter, his account is RealBDW. RealBDW, with the ad symbol, I guess, at the beginning. So if you guys want to follow him and see what he's up to, remember that. Is everybody doing it now? 3 people are. Fantastic. All right. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, pull the mic down. Can you?
My name's Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
Question. Do you remember any lines from Star Wars?
He remembers all the lines.
Do you remember what you did 5 years ago? He did those lines 30 years ago.
But you know the scene, I'll tell you though, the scene that I always enjoy is that scene with Chewbacca choking me. I remember that. No, but the other scene I had with Darth Vader when I go up against Darth Vader at that one point, and what's that line? This is not the deal.
You stand up and say, that was never a condition of our agreement, and then Vader goes, do you feel you're being treated unfairly? And good, I would hate to leave a garrison here, and you just stand there like an idiot.
That's one of my favorite movies. But at least I went up against Darth Vader. You're welcome.
Okay, hi, I'm Nick, and big fan of the 6th movie anyways. So, if there was a 7th movie, would you do it, of Star Wars?
Probably. I'll tell you, have you ever watched, I don't know, maybe you're too young to watch Robot Chicken. I've done the Lando character in the Robot Chicken and on American. One of them. There are a couple
You
of
did
others.
the Cleveland show.
The Cleveland show. And I've been doing something that I'm not supposed to talk about right now.
So don't, because we'll get in trouble.
A second quick question. Oh, I forgot it. Never mind. So, thank you. I'm glad to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you.
He's got a lot of juice. He's his parents. He's good.
He's wonderful. Bless you.
I would like to know what your inspiration is for your paintings and what your inspiration is to make such a good artist.
Well, with the painting, I call my work abstract reality, and what I mean by that, as real as things are, they are as abstract. In other words, I give you a representational point of view, which is obvious to the eye, and then I paint stuff that allow you to bring your own experience into it. So it's a kind of a device. It's a way of pulling the spectator into what you're trying to express. What was the other question?
What your inspiration was to be such a good
A diverse
artist.
actor? Well, you know, as I said earlier, you know, the way I was raised raised as an eclectic thinking person. You know, my daughter once said to me, my daughter and I always have these wonderful discussions. And I said, you know, I live in a gray area. She said, Daddy, you can't live in a gray area. And I said, well, let me try to explain. I said, what it is, I see myself as the full spectrum of colors. So I'm not ever really locked into any one particular idea of what I should be. I feel like as I said earlier, I feel like I'm the universe. And I can go anywhere I want to go and be whatever I want to be, as long as I have the capacity to do it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have time for a couple more guys, okay?
Hi, my name's Jonathan, and I have a friend, an Italian friend, his name is Lando. He went to high school in the 80s, so he was named that before you and everything. So I asked him, how was that? Was that pretty cool? He's like, no, you don't understand. It was horrible. He said, not because of Star Wars, but there was a comic book with a character with a very embarrassing superpower. So everyone made fun of him for that Italian comic.
So Lando was a comic book character?
Yeah, but it's nothing to do with Star Wars. It's just so he had
what comic book was that?
I'm not sure. He just had a really hard time with the name Lando.
Well, that's Lando Calrissian.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what.
And that's Armenian.
Yeah. What do you think of people meeting babies named Lando or Billy D? How do you feel about that?
That's flattering. Good.
Oh, and could you talk about your experience on the movie Deadly Illusion with Larry Cohen? I understood there was.
Oh, I had a good time with him.
I understood there was trouble with Cohen and being let go.
No, he's my friend.
Oh, okay.
He's crazy. He's a wild man. But he's wonderful.
Is there any other obscure movies like that you really want people to see? You know, like Fear City. Any other random roles like that?
Oh, he broke the mic.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome. Wait, hold on. This young lady has a fabulous idea. India? She wants to lead everybody in singing Happy Birthday to Billy. So no, you're going to lead. So we want the whole room. We want, what's the state? Kansas. We want the Wizard of Oz to hear this. So as loud as you can. Come on. No. You got to start. Come on. 1, 2.
Happy birthday to you.
Louder.
Happy birthday to you.
More.
Happy birthday, dear Billy. Happy birthday to you.
You just aged from 31 to 32 on that.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Thank you so much.
My name is Brandon. First off, I want to say, before I came here, I didn't realize you were such a down-to-earth and deep person. I'm really glad that
He's not, he's faking it.
But it's been a pleasure to hear you speak today. My question, a few years back, I guess, I'm a big fan of the show Scrubs, and there was a cameo appearance by you for just one episode. And I was just curious how that came about. It just seemed out of the blue to me to see you appear.
Well, whenever anybody asks me to do a little humor or participate in some kind of humor, I'm always looking forward to it. For me, again, usually it's good practice. Like when Jimmy Kimmel was always calling me up to do these, what do you call it? When I rag the plates, the commemorative plates. I don't know if you've ever seen that stuff, but it's pretty funny stuff. So it's an opportunity to rag on people, but just to fool around with the humor.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, thank you.
All right, last question, guys. Sorry, it's going to be the last question. I'm sorry.
All right, my name is Billy, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Hey, Bill.
I've always wondered. I know that you played Harvey Dent in The Timber. Yes. And I always wondered, were you approached in the show to be Harvey Dent, like Two-Face? And is that something you would have wanted to do?
Well, the reason why I did the wanted to do the Batman movie, and the reason why I accepted the role of Harvey Dent was because I was really looking forward to playing the Two-Face. I thought it would have been a great idea if I had played it. I mean, what's his name? Was whom I really love as an actor. It was very good. But they had changed hands, so that opportunity was lost. But I think I wanted to do something really interesting with that guy. Okay, thanks.
Okay, guys. Remember to follow Billy on Twitter, BDW. Also check out his artwork at bdwworldart.com. You can see some of the artwork that he does. Okay? Sorry guys, come down to the table, ask your questions. We're there to meet and greet. It's fine. We'll have a chat. It's all good. Give it up for the coolest man in the galaxy!